end this month, I think. Here we go again.
Just don't reference that word that triggers Isaac. And there's a lot of words that trigger Isaac, but don't.
I love him! About Momo.
This has to come out after the Momo episode now, or no one will know. Everyone will think that Isaac's.
Episode of what, Isaac?
What?
This is What You Think!
I didn't even
America's only Midwest paranormal drunk podcast where we get drunk and you can laugh at us all night long. Today, we have Mr. Needs to Buy New Britches, Isaac Sagafis.
My riches are torn.
We got Mr. wearing a very nice shirt, Jason Smith.
It's the Momo episode.
And Mr. What?
I was clapping for Momo.
I know you were.
Heritage.
And Mr. is wearing matching socks, Josh Quinn, I assume?
Yeah, they're matching.
They're matching. But Jason's aren't.
I think today they are.
Whoa!
Matching.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
String.
So today, we are going back to
time.
Are we?
I don't know. We didn't let him finish. We just finished it for him.
I was going to say, we're returning to Beaver Island.
He doesn't have anything on his computer. He's literally making all of this up. What is Beaver Island?
We're returning to Beaver Island.
We're going back to Beaver Island.
Back to Beaver Island.
I like beavers.
We've all been... Ew.
Ew. What's wrong with beavers? They're cute.
They are cute.
Cuddly.
Damn.
They got buck teeth. Nothing wrong with that, Josh.
So we did an episode that actually went around 40 minutes long. Jason did. We probably could have turned it into a two-parter. Now we are turning it into a two-parter.
How's he doing this? He's not reading anything.
I have memory.
He does have memory.
How?
I do this for my...
I didn't even remember to come here. You guys called me, and literally 20 seconds later, I forgot that I was supposed to come here.
That's true.
We called you like 3 times.
He was pretty drunk, but he got dropped off by a very nice person because Isaac, though not drink and drive, and we do not condone.
Yeah, Momo dropped me off.
Momo dropped him off.
Was it Momo or Mimel?
He was going into Mimel's house. So, Jason, we're talking about Beaver Island, right? Give us a little bit of a backstory. We don't have to get the huge part into it. But
yeah, nice and quick. Nice and quick.
Episode. All right.
I didn't like that.
I know he's not as exciting as Momo, but we had our...
You're damn right it isn't.
I know he's not. But he's still pretty cool.
Okay.
We had our friend James Strang. He was...
Dun, 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 dun.
King of the Mormons. Well, King of the Michigan Mormons on Beaver Island. So once he kind of got in with the church, there was that little bit of a schism.
Oh!
By Tool?
Oh, that's a good song, though. But also where he was like, oh, yeah, Angel of God told me, like, follow me and I will show you the location of your people. And then, like, that's where he found, like, those plates that were a little bit outside of Burlington, which not only is that, like, the previous episode of part 1, I guess, of this, but also, like, the Beaver Island roads are on Burlington, too.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do a part 1, part 2. This is just a revisiting. This might come out a couple months later. I don't know.
Like I said,
really?
I honestly don't remember where we left off. I just remember we were just kind of, like, rushing to finish it a little bit because it had been, like, 40 minutes already.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about.
So
just got a little derailed.
I heard there might be buried treasure.
Buried treasure.
Perhaps.
Enlighten Isaac. He's very confused.
So basically, like, once they got over to Beaver Island,
The Mormons. As Will
I
said,
remember the story.
the morons.
They killed that guy.
Yeah. Which guy?
The guy that discovered
The king.
it. Yeah, and he was a dick. So
Well,
they, like,
they
beat
just
him up.
kind of shot him.
King Wiener.
They just kind of
They
shot
him in the back, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's asshole move.
It really was. And then they just didn't really hold anybody accountable because it was just like, oopsie.
Didn't he like slaughter a bunch of Irish fishermen on the island?
Yeah.
Well,
Allegedly.
So the thing with Beaver Island is
I understand this is when they didn't consider Irish people to be people, but
you know, as some of us have seen, like, we've all seen Gangs of New York before.
I have not.
Yes, you have. We've made you watch it.
It's a good
Really?
movie.
Gosh, I don't have a TV.
I make Isaac only watch Star Wars.
Or Teletubbies.
Yeah.
So Beaver Island was basically called, like, the Little Emerald Isle because, as my good old friend Josh said, there were a lot of Irish fishermen on the island. When the Mormons came in, they basically kicked out a bunch of them. And that kind of ignited, like, not wars, but a bunch of
skirmishes
and conflicts between a bunch of like the locals, the fishermen, and all that.
Are you describing the first Irish-Mormon war of aggression?
Maybe it's the first, maybe not.
We're not talking about the Irish-Mormon War of 2036, are we?
Well,
no, that's
more
the
like 18.
That hasn't happened yet.
Exactly.
What?
But yeah, so that period on the period on the island was marked with economic activity, conflict with neighboring non-Strang settlers.
So how big is this island so they can have economic activity on this island? Like I was picturing like we have an island up north on Lake Nokomis that's by our family's land where it's just a tiny little island. Like this is a big enough island where you can have.
Yeah, the island is bigger than that lake.
And please tell us.
Really?
Yeah, it's big.
Please, as a recap, tell us where the island is.
It's in Lake Michigan. Let me.
Lac de Michigan.
Can we get?
Is this Tyler's story or whatever his name's story?
Can we get acreage to help our friends?
While Jason is looking it up,
Jason, yeah.
Whoa.
I did get an email from Maynard James.
Anything in Tyler? He acts like he's typing. His computer just says Google right now. He's not even reading.
Maynard James Keenan
Tool?
is suing us for saying schism by Tool on the podcast.
That's not what I said.
So you can please donate to our beer fund at
GoFindMomo.com.
GoFindMomo.com.
So Beaver Island is approximately 55 to 56 square miles.
Oh, that's actually a lot bigger than I thought.
So
that's big.
That's what she always says to me, you know.
She's never said that.
Oh, man.
Ballpark.
Oh.
So like it's not like it's the little Nokomis Lake with the like rotted out shack on it. Like it's
There could be at least 5 rotted out shacks there.
Probably 4.
Why are you?
Like I said,
why are you down talking the meth king of the North Woods?
What is that?
Ginger beer.
So I guess what kind of, not to really get into that because it doesn't matter. I imagine they do some forestry, some logging up there. What actual economic things can you do on the island? Are they mining? Are they
Beaver Emporium?
A lot of like fishing, shipping, local trade. They said.
I imagine they don't fish on the island; they fish in the water.
They're empty.
Yeah, so it was a fishing town outpost out in the lake.
Like Karamja.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they just kind of like did their thing.
He just made up a word and you guys both said yes.
No, Karamja is the pirate island in RuneScape.
Yeah.
So he made up a word basically to the rest of us civilized people that don't know what you just said.
Baruch Kazad, Isaac.
Kazad El Manu.
Okay.
So,
More dish soap,
like
please.
the Mormons basically ran the island's like print shop, so they controlled all of like the newspapers and like religious tracts. They developed the island
For the island.
For the island, yeah.
What's that noise? That.
Someone's phone's going off.
Oop, that's mine.
Oh, God damn it,
Oops.
Tyler.
So was this all part of Tyler's plan to start a podcast of his own episode and then have just Jason?
No.
This was Jason's
important.
episode.
Well,
This is important.
Kind of half revisiting it, but I don't remember where we kind of like skimmed and left off. So we're
Well, you left off
we're
where the
about there.
guy got
So
shot.
So basically, like there were after some
Why would
point
you do
after like the Mormons were settled there, like in about 1850, a drunken mob of fishermen vowed to kill the Mormons and drive them out. And basically, the only reason why they didn't
They just
succeed-
called them drunken because they were Irish. They were actually sober.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know what the report said. And they might have been derogatory towards the Irish, which was like a popular thing back then.
Still is.
But basically,
Oh.
like all of like the Irishmen and the fishermen, or the Irish fishermen, I don't know which it was, they all rolled up together. But the Mormons had a cannon.
Rolled up?
Wait, the Mormons
boat?
had a cannon?
Yeah, the Mormons
Wait.
had a cannon.
What'd they roll up in?
Well,
Like a carriage?
I mean, like they
They
Chrysler
went to
300.
attack the. They went to strike the Mormons.
Okay.
So yeah, he basically like scared them into submission by like firing the cannon a couple times at them, and like I don't know if people died. Instructions unclear. It's just kind of like maybe.
I mean, if you showed up with oars and pitchforks and torches, and then the guy you were gonna go and lynch had a cannon, you'd probably start running away.
Exactly.
Did they make that or they purchased it?
No, they brought it with them. The Mormons secretly brought it. With
These were
Where'd they get it?
These were Mormons out of Illinois
Yeah.
that had been chased.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So this was a sect of Mormons that split off from the rest of the group.
Brigham Young and
From
Exactly. And
pre-Brigham Young. This was...
it was the same schism. It was like right after Joseph Smith died, there were basically 3 of them that were like the new leaders of the church.
So instead of the ones that went out west to escape the persecution that was happening in Illinois and Missouri, these guys just went north through Wisconsin and Michigan and then settled on...
Well, I thought they found the plates first.
Yep. So like they went to like Burlington, settled down there, which you can still see plaques, and there's like little colony over there. But like
I knew they had weird underwear.
And then afterwards,
Burlington Coat Factory.
Exactly. Then they went.
What are they coding?
A factory.
So
competition for the business and jobs added to tensions on the islands because anything with like any kind of like real money making would just kind of like go to the Mormons and everything like that.
There was that many people that wanted to live on this island in the middle of Lake Michigan.
Well, fishing was pretty lucrative back then. So like they were the ones already there. And then there's everybody else that just all of a sudden floods in. And then
I kind of feel like it's like hey, let's just leave them alone. There's plenty of land for the rest of us.
This was back when like the whitefish fishing was very popular because they would salt them and barrel them and send them out west.
And the other thing is like there were enough people on this island where it was actually with King Strang, who was in the Michigan government, like as a representative. So like there's official like presidings and everything.
Oh, so I thought he was a self-appointed representative.
Oh, no.
No.
So he was an official representative.
He was in the official state government, but like also a self-declared king.
He was like a part of like the state assembly or...
Yes.
100%.
Okay. So it was almost like a county of Michigan or something.
Yeah.
He was actually like really huge in a lot of the organization of like the counties for the northern part of the Lower Peninsula, including the island, which was its own like county at the time.
That's terrifying.
Islands should never be counties.
That shouldn't be
like,
real.
There were enough people on it where like they could kind of rule themselves. So like it was like the County of Manitou was like the name of it in about 1855. Originally it was like attached to like Emmett County in like 1853, but there were enough people with their own kind of like ideals and whatever.
Did they want to secede from the U.S.?
They were fine just being part of Michigan. It's just
really?
Led by King Strang.
Okay.
So did they just call him King Strang like religiously?
What's up, King?
Yeah, you're my king.
Or were they trying to make him an actual like
a little column A, little column B?
Or was it
because he had a crown and scepter, right?
Was it like I roll King Strang, or did the people there like actually like him?
Oh, they followed him from instead of going west with like Brigham Young and all them, they believed that he was the one
and this is the guy that got shot.
So they
he was the one he was the one that found the plates, and he actually showed people.
Oh, yeah.
So they thought he was the next true prophet of Mormonism, and they decided to stay here with him instead of following all of the other Mormons
into the desert.
Instead of a prophet of rage living on the 110.
I was gonna say
instead they could actually like see the plates and
no.
We're gonna get sued.
They're back.
No.
But because of like all like the tall tales, the coronation, I guess there might have been some
witchcraft,
alleged things about counterfeiting, trespassing, like government land theft, and a bunch of other stuff. He was actually brought to trial in Detroit, and President Fillmore himself at the time,
Willard Fillmore,
Millard.
I said Willard. Willard is wrong.
Willard.
So the president wanted like the U.S. attorney, like George Bates, to investigate the rumors about him, his colony, and like the whole 9 yards about all of it. His defense trial actually brought a ton of favorable press. And then he ended up using that as leverage to get his seat on for like the state legislature.
Oh, damn.
Wait, so he got prosecuted by the federal government.
Got off.
And they liked him. They liked him so much that they made him a state representative?
Yes.
Instead of convicting him for counterfeiting.
They're like, hey, he's just kind of like a religious dude trying to find his own way. He's got his people. And
it's like, this is the funniest.
Good for them.
This is the funniest freaking dude we've ever seen. He made himself a little tin crown and he says he rules this island. Let's put him in the government.
Yark.
Yes, Isaac. Yark.
And like with all that, like even like once he got like elected, there were a bunch of people who just really felt like they had to like deny him his actual like elected seat and whatever. So he's like permitted to like address the legislature in his defense. After which the House of Representatives voted twice. The first time was unanimously, and the second time on like 49-11 margin to allow him to join them. After like a 1953 legislative session, he introduced 10 bills, 5 of which passed. So it's not like he's just, like
so he was
sitting around doing nothing.
I mean,
he's actually like putting stuff out there that is getting voted on and like put into law.
I'm looking at some stats right now. Isaac, please confirm that I'm looking at some stats right now.
His computer screen is in fact black.
I mean, most people are lucky to get like 1 or 2 bills passed when they're in government, and he got 5 out of his 10. That's pretty good. I mean, if he was in baseball, he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Batting 500 like
He's
that.
batting 500.
Yeah.
So the Detroit Advertiser in February of 1858 or 53 wrote that his course as a member of the President Legislature is disarm much of the prejudices that have previously surrounded him. Whatever may have been said or thought of the peculiar sect of which that he is a local head, I take pleasure in stating that throughout the session he has conducted himself with a degree of decorum and propriety, which have been equaled by his industry, good temper, and apparent regard for the true interests of the people and the obligations of his official oath.
So people actually really like this.
So basically, the local newspaper put out something that said, hey, this guy is a little weird, but he's actually he's a really good guy. And like,
he's looking out for everybody. Like, yeah, their people are like kind of goofy as hell, but it's fine.
So why'd they shoot him? And where's his buried treasure?
Well, he was reelected in 55 and actually did a lot, like I said earlier, to organize. Like,
sorry, Josh is dying over there.
So at that time, like there weren't a whole lot of like county boundaries or any of that laid out. So he put up like a ton of that to like help lay out the organization of like the new state and everything. So a lot of that was kind of good. What some people thought were kind of what got him on the hot seat a little bit was he fought really hard and strong about the illegal practice of trading liquor to like the natives due to the common practice.
I mean, who doesn't do that?
But it's like a lot of people were selling it.
So he traded it.
Well, he fought
no, he was against
stop that because most people selling it made it like it was like really diluted or like contaminated with just like garbage in it. So like not only was it just
here's your
trading whiskey for whatever, but it was like, yeah, like cut with a bunch of like nasty shit.
2-second aside,
like
Isaac tried to kill me.
Selling like the diluted stuff at high price or whatever, and that made him a ton of enemies, especially among like the people of the not Mormon groups in like Beaver Island, Mackinac Island, and a lot of those other like more maritime areas of like the Great Lakes. And it got to a point between that, he would start excommunicating followers who were, you know, if you so much as like, oh, look at like so-and-so's husband the wrong way. Like, obviously that's lustful and wrong. And he started getting a little too crazy with how strict everything was. So he started getting a lot of like enemies with the state and everything like that. He started like openly challenging people in newspapers. So
he was just like, calling them out.
Yeah. He was just calling people out.
Hey, bitch, show up at my house at 10 p.m.
And that's literally what he would said because he's just like, for the most part, he's like, yeah, you guys are a bunch of bitches and won't actually follow.
Listen to me, Jerry Westfield of Detroit, who cut in front of me in line the other day.
He said in writing one time, like, we laugh with bitter scorn at all of these threats. And that quote itself was just like a day or two before his, like, the shot that killed him. He also refused to employ a bodyguard, carry a firearm, or like really any other kind of self-defense.
But he had a cannon.
Well, that was just the shock and awe kind of thing. And then that's about after the point where in June of 1856, he was hanging around the docks of the main harbor town on Beaver Island. 2 dudes ended up coming through and like shot him in the back. He was hit 3 times, one at the head, one in his cheek, and the other in his spine. So he was a little bit paralyzed from the waist down.
What year was this again?
1856.
This was not a year where like multiple shot firearms were very common?
No, it was a bunch of people with.
So
like,
it's possible.
pistols.
It's possible that they fired like 6 shots, and the 3 shots that hit him were just the ones that hit him.
So yeah, basically after he was shot, they tried to do the best they could to save him. They brought him back to Wisconsin, where he just kind of like lived there, dying for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Sounds like Wisconsin.
So he just died a slow infection death in a bed.
No,
Pretty much.
Oh,
Around Burlington. So that sounds like
near
a
the
good
plates.
time.
Did they bury him in the mound?
Well, the plates were still existing up until about like, was it 1900?
Yeah.
And they just kind of like someone.
But there's
lost them.
pictures of the plates.
Weird how a lot of archaeological finds from mounds disappear around 1900. We'll cover that later.
But these ones, like they had like the rubbings and facsimiles of them.
Yeah.
Like, we know what they had on them.
Well, they're probably with our buddy Smithsonian.
Haha.
I didn't know Jason liked Sony.
Yeah. I mean, so after that, did the Mormon Empire and Beaver Island just kind of dissolve? Like,
So
what happened there?
after that point, kind of like the friends of the couple guys that shot our man James Strang, they just kind of like rounded up every Mormon that they could onto a boat and just kind of shipped them back to Wisconsin. And then after that, they just kind of dispersed a little bit.
'Cause
They
what's-
didn't really have their real leader.
What's the town in Illinois where the Mormon Garden of Eden is?
Nauvoo?
Yeah, did they probably just go down to Nauvoo? Because they still had settlements there at the time.
Some went there, some went to Utah, a couple stayed in Wisconsin with that like similar sect of their own. Like the dudes who like shot him, there is a whole mock trial and everything, and they just kind of like let him off and just
Because
charged him
there was
for
no
time.
proof. It was a crime of the mob, and there was no proof that one person could have done it.
Well, and it was like the judge was also like in Mackinac Island and had a vested interest in them selling like,
Rival
water,
Island.
basically. So he didn't like the whole fact that Strang was trying to stop all that.
Okay.
So it was just kind of like a whole kangaroo court kind of thing. But yeah, it was like all of the Mormons, and there were like 2,600 of them were herded onto like steamers, robbed of all their like money, personal possessions, and basically anything that
2,600 is a lot. Like for that time, that's a lot of people.
yeah. So they literally had like steamships like lined up waiting to do this, and just like corralled them on there, and just were like, get the
So
fuck out.
that's really weird because now this island is no longer populated.
Oh, it's definitely populated still.
I thought
Like there's post office and everything.
I thought am I thinking of the one off of the side of this? That's the bird sanctuary?
yes.
Okay, never mind.
But there are archaeological digs that they have there, right?
Yep.
So what are some things that they've found?
So a friend of mine, like Mary, has like done some work over there, and anything from just like, you know, your typical like nails of the era, like different trash, stuff like that.
So nothing crazy.
She hasn't told me at least about there are alleged buried treasure that the Mormons would have like, you know, holed up in the ground over there.
So
Ooh.
that was the first story I heard of this island.
I never heard of
Was
it.
Part of the counterfeiting story related to the Mormons secretly having a fake mint on the island. And at the time they were minting, they somehow got real U.S. Treasury mint plates, and they were making their own silver coins on the island.
Wasn't uncommon.
We're
back
still
in the
gotta
day
have
for-
silver
for
then.
States
They
to have
had
their own
silver
mints.
because they had been moved from the Central Mormon Church. So they had silver that wasn't pressed into anything yet. So when they got up there, they had some connection to get a plate of coin for making coins, and they were making their own silver coins on the island. And that's what got them in a lot of trouble. But there is supposedly a trove of silver coins or raw silver somewhere on the island from the mint after it got demolished.
But it's just hard to say if it's still there buried somewhere if all of the Irish fishermen decided to take it.
Or
There's no such thing as a rich Irishman. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it took us a while to get to that buried treasure thing. And this kind of reminds me of Oak Island, right up in Canada, where the supposed
They have that show.
there's the
Curse of
supposed
Oak Island.
right, the Templar treasure is buried. And there's a lot of like stories around the U.S. where like, there's Confederate gold in the
But
Grand Canyon.
They did just find Confederate gold this year that was worth like $6 million. And
this year, you mean 2025? Because this episode will probably release in 2026.
And that it all got taken by the government.
Yeah. I mean, if I found a bunch of treasure.
So, to all of our listeners out there, if you find treasure buried out in the woods, don't tell anybody, but you should share it with us.
Tell this podcast.
We gave you this advice.
We'll buy you a beer.
We'll buy you a beer.
So I guess there's a couple things of how we should think about it. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions. And we didn't talk a lot about the treasure. We could do another episode, but we're 26 minutes in. This has been over an hour talking about some Mormons in Wisconsin. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. It'll be, do you think there's Mormon buried treasure somewhere in Wisconsin or on the island? And do you really think Mr. Strang deserved to get shot? Isaac, you go first.
Don't shoot him. I mean, he's clearly egotistical. But,
yeah.
don't shoot the poor lad.
Yes, good heavens.
And yes, there's buried treasure everywhere. I mean, we know for back when, the United States was first colonizing, that every state almost printed their own money. They were having issues with it because people couldn't get their gold to the mints, so they had to make their own mints. But this was a little after that. So the fact that they had their own mint isn't unheard of, but there's buried treasure everywhere.
It was a new state at that time, so it's not unheard of.
Right. So yeah, I think we should go to the island and we should bring Momo and we'll have a good time.
Okay.
Jason, what do you think?
I mean, I thought he was a pretty cool guy. He definitely had some good ideas out there as far as like organizing the state, some better interest for things outside of the Mormon church and his followers. So like, he just seemed like a good representative. Like you said, the fact that he was able to get like 5 bills out and propose a handful is like way over the average of what you normally would do. So they're actually doing like something out there. Just because he got on the bad end of some fishermen and got some frontier justice and, air quotes.
Happens to the best of us.
Obviously, you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. And I guess his skull got cracked a few times. So.
He got shot in the cheek. I can't eat my oatmeal. It keeps falling out.
Balls.
All right, Josh, what do you think?
I'm actually pro Irish fisherman
it's gone.
and pro Strang on this one.
So you like him, but you're glad he got shot?
Yes.
What?
Okay.
Yes, I like King Strang. I think he was doing good things, but also he was burying treasure and making fake money. And those poor Irish fishermen got shot at by a cannon, and then they scared them off their island that they had probably done all of the development of. And then they came back and they're like, this jerk-off tried to kick us off of the place we rightfully claimed because it was just some no-good island out in the middle of nowhere. But let's face it, they weren't going to find that buried treasure.
All right.
And, I mean, if you found it, would you really report it anyways?
Right.
Well,
or it has been
no
found.
Rich Irishman.
Sony and Smith has it. I mean, I just think this story is crazy from the beginning because I didn't realize that there were extra plates found in Wisconsin.
We'll cover that in a later episode.
Well, we already covered this in a previous episode, but I think it's, yeah, I just think the whole story is strange. I don't know why we didn't learn more about it. I guess because he was a
Michigander.
Well, he was from Wisconsin, or he did some work in Wisconsin, at least. He died in Wisconsin.
But the island itself is a territory of Michigan.
True, so. But I think the more important part is like the finding the plates and that kind of stuff.
We actually learned quite a lot of, I would say, weird Wisconsin archaeological history when we were in school.
Yeah, and I think there's probably treasure out there, whether it's buried or whether the Mormons took it, out west. I don't know. I do think I don't necessarily think he deserved to get shot, but I also think he was a little arrogant, right? Like if he didn't have a bodyguard, he didn't carry a weapon, he would just like call people out and stuff. He was almost kind of asking for it, but I think because he thought he was like the holy man or whatever else, he thought he was untouchable. So in that case, it's like, hey, buddy, no one's untouchable like that. So
Plus,
he kind of had it coming.
Just to add to that, this wasn't that long after the U.S. got rid of having a king. And there were plenty of countries that still had kings around, and just declaring yourself king and then trying to be part of normal government probably wasn't the smartest thing to do.
I mean, I just think the guy seemed like he was, a little arrogant. I mean, if you think you're like the one guy that God is talking to or whatever, like you probably do feel pretty good and untouchable. But I mean, this is still, not the Wild West as in the actual West, but I mean,
frontier town.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of justice being done on people, but I mean, if you guys have any inkling on where the treasure's at, we
have shovels.
Maynard James Keenan is suing us now for $40,000 for mentioning his name twice. Now three times. So
he just added another 0.
Yeah. Oh God, not again. So this will probably be the last episode of Ope What You Think, because we're getting sued. Just kidding. Because we're drinking Pecatonic beer. We're drinking Delirium. We're drinking Hams. This is a 31-minute long episode. It's gonna bleed into 32. This is Ope What You Think.